Hi, I'm James Weatherford, and I am your instructor for your online humanities course with Northeast Texas Community College. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction to the course, let you know who I am, and let you know a little bit about, well, what to expect in this class, what kind of assignments you're going to turn in, things like that. So just to let you know, if you're watching this video, then you must be in humanities course online with Northeast Texas Community College. I am James Weatherford, as I had said. If you ever need to contact me, I'll tell you now. The best way to do that is to text me. So if you have your syllabus handy, which actually reminds me, if you don't have your syllabus in your hands or on your screen or on your portable device or something, please right now pause this video and go get that pulled up somewhere or print it out so that you can access it so you can see it. A lot of the things I'm going to say aren't going to make any sense if you don't actually have the syllabus in front of you. So make sure you have a syllabus. But if you need to contact me, you'll see that contact information at the top of your syllabus, and you'll see my cell phone number, 817-713-4802. If you need to text me, please feel free to send me a text, preferably instead of calling me. But if you call, just leave a message and I'll get back with you. But if it's something that you can answer quickly and simply through text message, just send me a text. You won't disturb me, you won't bother me. If I don't see it or I can't get to it at the time, don't stress out. You're not disturbing me, but it might take me a minute to get back to you, but no more than 24 hours. If you don't hear back from me in 24 hours on anything, just hit me again. So because I might have overlooked it or forgotten. But I'm pretty good. If you know anybody who's taken my class before, you're not going to bother me if you text me, and I'm pretty quick. If I have an answer, you have a question, when I see it, I'll just shoot it right your way. It makes things easier. But then, of course, if you do need to discuss anything beyond something a text message could handle, we could have, email conversations. We could do FaceTime. We could do Google Hangout. We could Skype. You could call me on the phone. Whatever you want to do, however you feel most comfortable. If you don't like texting, but that's the easiest way. I can't tell you some things through a text, grades and things like that, because that could violate some of the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. I think FERPA is that's what it stands for. But there's certain things I can't tell you. But if you have a question about an assignment, I can help you. Okay, with that preface aside, you'll also see my email address on there, jweatherford@ntcc.edu. If you need to email me, go ahead and send me an email. I would ask and prefer you don't ever send me any assignments through email. Only send them through the submission links you'll find on Blackboard. Unless I outright tell you, I will probably never tell the whole class, but I might tell an individual, just email it to me. But unless I say that, don't send me any of your assignments. I won't. It's as if I never get them. If you send them that way, no, you have to send it through Blackboard. And speaking of which, Blackboard is the medium by which this class will be, taught and delivered. So if you are not familiar with Blackboard, that's part of what I hope to accomplish this first week, is to give you time to get familiar with Blackboard and get on there. There's introductory assignments you're going to do this first week when you log in to Blackboard, and I'll tell you. The best way to get to Blackboard is to go through the ntcc.edu website, go to current students, and then My Eagle portal, and go that way. That's the best way to go. There's actually an address that will take you directly to the login page for Blackboard, and that is ntcc.blackboard.com. If you've taken classes last spring, we're on a different server now. The old one doesn't exist. So as of spring 2015, we moved to a new server. So don't go to ntcc-bb.blackboard.com. Don't go there. ntcc.blackboard.com only. So once you log into Blackboard, you will see the link for our course, and on that page, on the home page, you will see a link that says start here, and that is most important because, well, for obvious reasons, that's where you're going to start. So you'll go into that folder and you'll complete a few assignments, and you will also register for your ebook. The ebook is through McGraw-Hill Connect, and you could purchase the book in the bookstore. That's totally fine. I think you can also only purchase the registration code, which honestly, unless you prefer to have a paper book in your hands, you don't actually need the paper book, because everything you're going to do is going to be online. For some people, that's great. Some of us are maybe more non-traditional students. The younger generation, they seem to like the ebook and electronics and the digital interfaces and all that stuff far more than some folks kind of like myself. I like to have books. I like to add them to my library when I'm finished. But I know that won't make any sense to you at this point because you're a freshman and sophomore. But one day you'll be like, I want to keep my books because there's stuff in there I want to reference again. So the ebook, there'll be a link there for registering. Either way, whether you bought the code or bought the book and the registration code, or if you'd want to just log into Blackboard and go to the actual link there in the Start Here folder and register and pay with your debit card right there, you can do that too. Either way, you have to go through that link, because that link will take you directly to our class that will be associated with your email address that you use to register with that registration code. So it's very important you do that, because you will not be able to succeed in the class unless you have done that. So it's very important. So once you're on McGraw-Hill Connect, you'll see that there are various reading quizzes. There'll be a reading quiz for every single chapter, so you'll always read the chapter, take the quiz, and there'll be 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the most, activities related to each chapter as well. But that's only part of what you'll do in this class. We also will have 4 discussions. We will have 3 exams. The exams are open book, so I don't really have any problem with using the book. This is an appreciation type course, so whether you're in 1301 or 1302, we're going to cover 500 years of history, basically. So it's a vast amount of information that you may not ever fully commit to memory unless you study this for years. So I'm more than happy to let you use your books. I don't have a problem with that. So we'll also have lectures, which you'll find on Blackboard. Now, in your syllabus and on the home page, you will see a layout of the course. It's important that you follow the days and the assignments according for each day and each week. It's important that you follow that. You can work ahead, but let me caution you. If you work ahead, don't get lazy. You still need to be logging in, checking out, seeing what's going on, see if there's any correspondence with me. Don't just go and knock out all of your discussion board assignments and then, not actually log in to respond to your classmates. The discussion boards require that you post once and respond to 2 other people within the time frame of when the discussion is pertinent, meaning in some ways it doesn't help for you to go ahead and do the last discussion or the third discussion, answer it when we haven't really covered that material in the class and you haven't really wrestled with any of the ideas with your classmates. And being that there's only 4 discussions, and that's a highly valued percentage of your grade, you don't want to get a 33.3 because you didn't respond to one of your classmates. That could bring your average down by 1 or 2 points. And that brings me to a part of what's important to know about the way this class is graded. You have to understand that each of our assignments have a percentage weight, and what that means is some things are weighted more than others. So if all your McGraw-Hill Connect activities or assignments are like 15 or 20%, but you have 25 or 30 of those grades spread across that percentage, missing 1 or 2 is not a big deal. But if you have 3 exams and you miss an exam and that's 15% or 20% of your grade, you see what I'm saying? So missing 1 takes a big chunk. This is basic math. I'm not really that good at math, but this is really basic math. You have to pay attention to those percentages. I often have students who don't do one of the major writing assignments. When I say major, it just means they're worth a lot. They're really very easy, and I'm not very hard on you. except that I hope that you understand how to do MLA. That's one of the most important things you need to learn at this point in your writing, because you're freshmen. It's a freshman level class. But students will miss one of those papers, and then they'll be like, I don't understand why I've got a C. And I'm always like, well, you missed a paper that was worth literally, 7.5 points of your overall average, based if it's a 15%, category that's weighted across 2 assignments, and you miss one, half of 15, 7.5%, which is actually 7, out of 100 points would be 7.5 points. So if you missed one, it would take that much off of your overall average. And now if you had an A in the class and you didn't do it, you'd still have an A. If you had 100 and you'd done everything and you didn't do one of those papers, it wouldn't kill you. You could still get an A. But if you were already teetering on the line between C and B and you don't do one of those assignments, better watch out. Be careful. I give you a lot of warning of when they're due, and my expectation is that you do it thoughtfully, that you engage the ideas of the course and tie them to the assignments, and actually really follow the directions. Know how to cite in MLA. I give you all kinds of resources. I give you a sample paper. I give you a lot of stuff. You're probably at this point thinking, well, what are these major assignments you're talking about? Well, I'll tell you that, and then I'll make a final comment on what the humanities are, in case you wondered. You are this far in the course, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes people get this far and they have no idea what the humanities are. But the 2 assignments that I'm speaking of are, one, you have a fine arts assignment, and you will have 2 fine arts assignments in the time we're together for over the next 16 weeks. And in that fine arts assignment, what you will do is you will actually go visit a location, maybe go to a museum, go to a play, go to the theater, go to a poetry reading, any number of things that would constitute fine art, where someone actually creates something, musically, aesthetically. So you'll go, and all those details for how to do this assignment are actually in your syllabus and on Blackboard, so don't sweat it. Just read it, print it off, make sure you thoroughly understand the directions. Please, 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 if I could communicate anything to you as, community college students, read the directions, know what they say inside and out. It's very important. And then the other assignment that you will do 3 of these, actually you will choose 3 out of 6 religions, and to write a 1.5-page, double-spaced kind of brief essay on 3 different world religions, which at this point, this brings me to sort of talking a little bit about what this class is about. So the reason we're going to write on religion and you're going to do a fine arts visit is because all those concepts kind of fall within the broad category of what we call humanities. I had a student one time come in my class say they thought humanities was a study of the human body, like it was a biology class, which I thought was interesting. They had no idea why they had to take the class. But the humanities is basically when we study humans. And when I say humans, I don't mean their physical body. I mean the mind, the creative mind of the human. Like, what is it about being human that makes us need to create systems of governing and to establish societies and to make art and to write and to sing and to have religion? All of those things fall into kind of the category of culture. And so, because humans tend to be civilized, meaning we form systems of being civilized with government and having, an economic system. We buy, we sell, we trade, we build houses. Our ancestors may have roamed, but at some point we stopped roaming and we set up towns, So civilization always has culture. So where you find civilization, you will find culture, and within culture, you'll find common values. And those common values are typically governed by, let's say, religion, society, or political, or something to that effect. And so the reason we study religion is because religion represents a set of cultural norms or beliefs that govern the way people act in the society or in the civilization. Also, fine art would be an expression of this human need to create and to also sort of put values and cultural norms and even religious ideas into what is created. If you study the course of art history since the Common Era, you would be blown away that most of what we find in Western art is Christian, religious, and because that was the dominating, governing theme under the Holy Roman Empire. Although there really wasn't any art, which is kind of ties back to Christian authority of the Catholic Church. There wasn't really any art until Christianity became the religion of the Roman Empire. Before that, it was mostly illegal to be a Christian, so you didn't see a whole lot of Christian art until Constantine and the Theodosian Code and so on and so forth, but we'll get into that at some other time probably. But anyway, all that is to say, culture has these common values, and those common values are governed by religion and like society and government. And so we're going to look at a lot of that kind of stuff in this course. So if what we'll look at is the structures, the systems by which these concepts of philosophy, ways of thinking about the world, ways of thinking about what it means to be human, literature, the history of science and technology falls into this. Looking at what I say, philosophy, literature, aesthetic studies, sculptures, and just all kinds of any way that humans have expressed themselves, their religious systems that they have constructed and designed in order to make amends with the gods, and how to live in peace, ethically and morally with the rest of civilization or the rest of society. All of these things will come into the discussion for the humanities. So that pretty much covers everything you need to know about this course. If you're, confused about anything, first read your syllabus all the way through thoroughly, and make sure that you do everything in the Start Here folder. If you're still confused in any way whatsoever, just go ahead and text me or send me an email. But everything should be pretty straightforward. I work pretty hard to make this class not confusing. The only thing I cannot help you with is the amount of information we're going to cover. There's a lot of stuff, but I do make it very easy for you to make an A, because I would rather know that you're learning something, even if it means that you go back to the book and find it. That's okay. Now, I want to also close all of this with telling you, do not copy and paste information from anywhere other than your book for answering any of the questions. Any of the things we do online on Blackboard, our discussions, things like that. I don't want to know what biography.com says about, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I'm not interested, but I'm interested in what you have learned, and I'm interested in maybe that you can show me that you got it from the textbook, but don't go scouring around the web finding answers for these questions. I will detect it. I know what is out there. I know what other people are saying, and I know when something doesn't look like you wrote it. So there you go. It's really very important that you don't plagiarize. Don't take any information from other people's sources, other things people wrote, and then make it seem as if it was your thought or your idea without giving them credit. Don't do that. It's totally off limits. It's an insult to academic and scholastic integrity. So don't. Doesn't mean you can't cite other sources, but there is a proper way to do that. And I give you a lot of resources in this class to help you understand what that means and how to do it. So there you go. That's the introduction to your online humanities course. Hopefully you are not confused. Hopefully this shed light on some areas where you may have had questions, and it's prepped you for what is to come in the next 16 weeks. So I will see you on Blackboard. I look forward to reading your responses and your discussions and your conversations with each other on the discussion board, as well as your answers to some of the lecture quiz questions. All of that also to come back to be thinking now about your fine arts assignment, thinking of places to go. We may open the discussion board and kind of toss around some ideas. I can give you a lot of suggestions. I know most of you are probably out in East Texas and you think there's nothing out there, but there's a few places. You can go to UT Tyler. You could go to any of the commerce colleges. Texas A&M, I think, is out there. There's a Fine Arts Museum in Longview. There is, let's see, down. I think even in Mount Pleasant at the library, there's some exhibits. Just check libraries. Mount Vernon Music. I don't know if they're doing anything this fall, but they usually have some good music that comes through there. And then there's always Watley, which is on the campus of Northeast Texas Community College. They have occasionally, and they will because it's the fall. I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but they will have some art exhibits, and they will have some live performances. If you're ever unsure about if something's appropriate, you can ask me. There is a small clause on the directions for the fine arts assignment about whether you can go to a religious event or not. Read that thoroughly before you even attempt to. If you are even at all thinking you might want to go to a religious event, run it by me first. But I will tell you this, don't go to something from your own tradition. If you're a Christian, don't go to a Christian event. If you're Jewish, don't go to a Jewish event. I want you to bridge, the religious divides between us culturally and go explore something you've never seen before. It won't kill you. And people sometimes are very afraid to go visit a temple or something because they think they're going to end up getting converted. And I would say that if you're that easily swayed, then maybe you need to convert. I'm kidding, but if you are confident in who you are and what you believe, learning about other people and who they are and what they believe shouldn't be a threat to your belief system. And if anything, it should help broaden your horizons to understand the world around you, and likewise, it should help you to better understand yourself, which I think in the end makes us all better human beings when we understand others and we know who we are, and we can have dialogue that doesn't lead to conflict. Okay, so that's my little soapbox speech. But so be thinking now about your fine arts assignment. Take a look at the assignment for the religion papers you're going to do online. It's pretty cool. You've got 6 documentaries you can watch, and you have to use like one outside scholarly source. Basic stuff. You should learn some things. Not everybody at this point knows about all the world religions. They're very relative and pertinent to the study of the humanities because you can't have religion unless you got humans acting religiously. So it's really pretty cool, I think. All right, so if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Text me, email me, whatever you want to do. Call me if you have to. We'll talk. I don't mind. So let me know. I'm here for you. I will see you online.